to the soiree, the shindig safari. It's a celebration, party all day, all night. We at it like all day, all night. Yo, welcome to the soiree, the shindig safari. It's a celebration, party all day.
What's going on, guys? I hope everybody's having a good evening. My name is Bleaves, and we are here to talk about crypto on a Friday night. This is Bedtime with Bleaves. So the market was not kind today. Everything that could have possibly gone wrong basically went wrong. The only thing that we missed out on was Jerome Powell or Ben Bernanke or somebody coming out and saying, I'll take this whole goddamn thing. We had a nice little run in the first hour of trading in the Dow. And then immediately after that, all we saw was a big tank. What's going on, Giant Wookie? We saw a giant tank happen. We didn't see any kind of life in it. Then we started to see the crypto market buckle and cave to that sort of sell pressure. Then we looked around, and what did we see? Every single token that we are in start to make those downside moves. And, and you were seeing those big sell-offs happening. You can see here, Terra went through something just ridiculous in that quick little period. That's not a lot of money, by the way. We're looking at a move from 1,500 down to 1,400. We're not talking about a giant move, but it looks that way because you just saw the enormous pressure that was coming down. BTFA sitting at 98.64, by the way. Still have the exchange, but look at what happened to them during the course of the day. Volt, which was trading at about 10.32. We were bragging about it this morning. Talking about how great it was, that it was moving. Suddenly it starts to go down. Everything just started to eat it a little bit. And now we're starting to experience a recovery. But full disclosure, I bought a bunch of ETH today, and I bought it at 1925. So it's at 1962 right now. So hopefully the Asian market is going to take care of us. And I don't know that will happen because it looks like the Asian market might be just a little bit tired. You can come over here and you can see that the trading has been about even for the last hour or so, but it's down tremendously in the 24-hour. And the biggest trader by volume in the last 24 hours is Tether by a lot. So it really looks like there's nothing positive going on right now. You see a lot of red. You can see Chainlink is up a little bit. You can see Cosmos up, but they're few and far between. We're not really getting any kind of big movement. And how about this? If Chain moves, so does Chainlink at 7.8% because people are just looking for whatever crypto they can find with that name in it and starting to move it. So it's a pretty funny thing, but we're trading at 1307. We were up a couple percentage points this morning. Now we're down 2.8 in the 24-hour. So I don't know what we're going to see in the overnights. In fairness, when you kind of poke around and you look at Morningstar, you get an idea that the market is not really horrible. And then you come over here and you look and you see that the Chinese market looks like it's trading in green. Like it looks like it's having a good evening or a good morning, a good start. And you're seeing like just a lot of green everywhere, but you're not seeing it translate into price points because when we got to the end of the day on the Dow, we recovered a little bit. But you have to remember, we were sitting at 31.4 to start the day. Then it wasn't until that close that we got up just a little bit. So that was a lot of dip that everybody had to sit through for a little while today. Very nervous. And when that happens, that usually tends to lend itself to the crypto market starting to struggle. And the one thing that's not struggling right now is the Volt army. So I guess we can be thankful for at least one good thing, that the Volt army shows its strength on both sides, by the way. Even during a constant and consistent bear market, apparently Volt right here is at 1025. The BNB side just does not care. It's just going to keep running, and it's going to keep running, and it's going to keep going. Luna by the by the same token, there's been a lot of stuff said in the last little while about Luna, and you can see right here that the shine, any possibility of something positive is just kind of worn out now. Even though we continue to burn supply, the supply is down to 204 billion. You're not seeing any level of support. Now, along with not seeing a level of support, there's some very interesting things that came out here in the Terra Station. Some of the largest ones, and we've talked about these a couple times, some of the largest ones, which was Smart Stake and Orion, came out and abstained from voting, which means that they would have given them the quorum that they needed to go ahead and move forward with the chain. So now they're kind of stuck in this neutral mode where a lot of these people who have not yet voted are going to have to all vote yes. If a bunch of these guys start to come out voting no, then you're going to start to experience a very big problem. Now, in addition to that, you also have this going on as well. You can see right here that an investigation is now officially opened on Do Kwon, and the Korean Special Financial Crimes Unit is investigating Do Kwon, and they want to charge him with a Ponzi scheme. The CEO of Terra Validator, All Nodes, which we will see over here, that voted no right here, All Nodes, says that what Do Kwon is proposing looks like a dictatorship model. He's not a fan of what's going on. Court documents show that Do Kwon dissolved Terraform Labs Korea days before Luna crashed. Now, this is Gokstein Media, and they're apparently getting to this stuff. I mean, I guess I'm the one that lets them know about news, because this was news. We were covering this yesterday, and that's kind of where we are right now. Awesome Austin had a post here. Why are you not pushing the burn and remedy fee proposal? Who else wants this approved? Everybody's voting hell yes. I even voted hell yes. But you can see over here in the governance that it is right here, and it's at 61% with 28% abstaining and only 2% voting no. And some of these people just really don't care. But this ends in 17 hours. So in 17 hours, if this thing passes, then there'll be a massive burn that will immediately start on Luna. And when that massive burn starts, then we're going to see a price run up just by virtue of addition by subtraction. Now, that doesn't mean that the price is going to recover. This is potentially a buying opportunity for people if they were looking to get in. And by the way, we made these arrows last night, and I told you guys that this would probably play out until about right here. And it did play out to about right here, and it trended right to the downside. So I guess that's why you play the game. But it doesn't look like there's anything positive that we can really glean out of Luna right now. It looks like it's just dead. Maybe we'll see something happen in short order, but it doesn't really look like we're going to see anything in a positive light, at least for right now. And that leads us over here to, let's take a quick look at 1966.89 is now 1961.07. So it looks like we're in profit-taking mode in China, even though there's a green, even though market Morningstar shows it in the green, doesn't look like we're really in that much green. And if you watched my video from just a little while ago, then you will know that I've been thinking a lot about this crypto market and where this crypto market is going to go. And we're going to have our runs. But the question is the market going to slowly die? Because let's face it, we haven't seen numbers like this. And we can go over here to coin market cap. The market cap is 1.246. And you really have to start looking at, if you look at this over the long term, then you will see that this market cap right here has not been around since way back here. Now, I guess we need to look at this little area right here. Coming in maybe just a little bit before. Shit. Leave it to me to screw up the... There we go. And there we go. All right. So we can see here that we were trading around 1.2, about 1 trillion. And then it kicked up to about 1.2 in a little after February of 21. It's kind of stayed there at this point. And we've had nice pumps up to 2.4 and 3 trillion, but we had this nasty dip on my birthday again, down to 1.25 trillion, something like that. But here we are again, sitting at 1.241 trillion. Now, when it dips down to this level, by all rights, that should be an indicator that we are headed for this kind of move here. You can see here that these little trends right here, if you match this right here and this right here to this right here and this right here, a little drawn out because the money's bigger, but a little drawn out here. And then you can see this right here. There's about 4 little mountains taking us to the bottom. And over here, you can see there's about 4 little mountains taking us to this bottom right here. Well, then by all rights, we should start see an extended lift coming in. We haven't seen it. We haven't experienced it yet, but we don't know, in fact, if there is a bottom at this point. Like, have we reached that spot? So I don't know the answer to that. I'm not nervous, by the way. I don't think that we're in horrible and or dire straits when it comes to the cryptocurrency market. But, I mean, let's face it, things could be a little bit better. There's a lot of people putting a lot of money in a lot of nothing right now. And when that starts to happen, then that catches fire and that creates a lot of panic in these markets. And when the market panics, then it does crazy shit. And when it does crazy shit, nobody makes any money. So it's going to be rare to find that case where you make some money. And that's just a sad state right now that we're in. But I'm not sure what you guys think. I would think that most of you are probably feeling about the same way about how this thing is playing out. It just doesn't look good. What I can tell you, though, is over here on TradingView, which I've not been able to just really get into as much as I wanted to today to do some ETH trading. I got in here at 21 and I'm over here and now it's telling me it's oversold. So I guess, God damn it, I guess that means I'm supposed to move out. So over here, 1929, 30s, $300, right? So $300 is worth it. So let's, I'm going to take their advice right here. And I am going to stable. And my preferred method right now is USDC for stabling. Now I'm at 12.51 ETH when I make this play. And I'm holding $1,000 in USDC in addition. So the swap is going to cost me $18 to make that swap. So between 14 and 18 is what it says. So let's go ahead and make that play. And then we're going to see this thing dip down just a little bit. And then we're going to wait for a green. If I can get a green over here, like, you know, if this thing can really start to its way down and not just cost me $20 or $15 just to make this trade, just so I can get a green in just a little while. Like if it can really push down into 1900 right now, then I will have made about $300 for making that play. And I mean, that's basically enough for a day, right? Yep, here we go. I sold off. It's going to start mooning. Watch this shit happen. It's going to be my luck. It's going to be my luck. Let's jump into the chat here real quick. And thank you for becoming a member, Musa Weir. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for the support. What's up, Hussein? Northwoods, what's going on? Valley Boy, what's going on? Bull, how you doing? Dallas, what are you doing, man? Hope you're having a good evening. DNA, what's going on, my brother? Juicy, hey, how are you? William, that burn won't pass. Well, you know what? If it doesn't pass, then I don't know what to do with Luna at that point. Like, I think that's, you know, there's going to be a big problem at that point. There was a green dot you mentioned in a previous video that was happening before climbing on the charts. Is the dot still kicking around? Yeah. So when I was talking about the ones earlier, by the way, Bull, I'm looking at the day chart, and I think this day chart, like, look at this. This is just insane, by the way. Like, this green dot right down here is telling us that ETH is going to have a massive run. Like, it's really telling us that it's going to go crazy. It's one of those things that takes time. And you can go over here and you can look at the run that you had right here. And this run was over the course of a few days. But even during the course of this whole run up, you can see right here that it had one of those days where it dipped down dramatically. So it went from 28 all the way down to 26. There's plenty of opportunities to play dips. And that's what these smaller charts are. The 4-hour chart said sell. So the 4-hour chart's giving us a sell signal. And here we are. Starting to trend sideways. That means that it might move back upwards or it might sit where it is. This one is telling me to sell on the 1 hour, and on the 15-minute, it's telling me to sell right now. So we're just going to follow those instructions. I don't really go down into the, but we can go down to the 3-minute chart. 3-minute chart's telling me to sell too. So I'm not getting any positive sentiment, but we want to wait for at least like two of those to acknowledge some kind of buy sentiment before we start jumping back in. So we'll let this ride down for a little while and just kind of see what happens. Like, the ultimate play, I mean, obviously the ultimate play is to see this thing go up a couple $100 overnight. Like, just go absolutely crazy in the buy in around 1900. Get yourself in a nice dip. Again, I had 12.51, so I want to get back in with about 12.51 ETH. And if I can do that successfully, then I will have exactly what I had before, and then let that run up, and then I can sell back, and then I can wait for another dip and do the same thing. As long as I buy 12.51, then I'm going to be in a good position. And I can continue to stack USDC, which would be the ultimate goal. So that's going to be where we are. Now, what's up, man? Yeah, but you know what? I still think it's going to run. It's still going to run. By the way, I got some new products that I'm going to be trying out. One of us guys, Crypto Life, sent me over some stuff to try out. I'm going to try it out over the next couple of days, and I want to show you right now because I want to try it out myself. See how this stuff is, because there's no guarantees, and if so, then we're gonna start talking about it, because anybody who has good supplies and good stuff deserves some recognition. If I can give a little bit of recognition to somebody and move a couple boxes, then I'm going to be all about that. Yeah, so crypto sucks right now. Depressing. Here's the thing, Bull. If it might not, it does. First, it does suck, but this tells me something good in the long term. I don't want you to lose faith in it. This green right here, so far down, tells me that we are on the cusp of something good. So now it's just a matter of this. The way I consider it is, let's just say we're buying in at 1952. Let me get the calculator. I'm trying to make some good swing trades. So we're trading at 1952 right now. I don't know what we're going to end up buying, but we're going to buy 12.51. So we're going to put 24,419 into something, right? So we're going to have 12.51. We're going to call it 24,420. Weed. So then if it goes up to, let's just say 2060, like it's been hitting the top at 2060. That's going to be that right there. So we're going to take out my 24,420. That's $1,350. So that's not bad to make in a market in the course of a day, especially if the opportunity presents itself to make that play. And if I miss out on it, that's okay. I can make it up the next day. But if I can get a 100-point swing on this stuff, and I can win that 100-point swing each day for 30 days, 30 grand. So that's why I decided right now I'm going to be that ETH stacker, and I'm just going to see what happens. And now what I'm looking for is right here, I'm looking for that green to pop up. So when that green popped up on this chart, and we're going to have to pull this out just a little bit. When the green popped up on this chart at the last time, a little while ago, we were at 1959 and it ran up to 1971. That's a couple $100. That's not a huge amount, but it's a couple $100. And if I rode this one right here, again, we're getting in about 1920. And the big sell-off, that big top, which is what you're looking for, came at like 1966. So that's $400 or $500. So, I mean, there's plenty of swing there's plenty of swinging can be done right now to make some money in this market. It's just finding a product and doing it. Cardano right now, is having a really good sort of, I don't really like that. The pennies on this don't seem like much, but there's big buy signal on Cardano right now. But let's see if we can get this thing down. If we can get down into a much better buy space, then that's going to be a great thing. Wild thing all day, man. What did I just sell? Oh, I just sold my ETH off, Super D'Angelo. I had 12.5 ETH that I'm holding on to, that I put in, and I made a couple $100 off of it. So now that I made a couple $100, I'm waiting for a dip so that I can buy back in at a lower price and then, earn a little bit of profit off of it, even in a bad market. I did that too. And when it pumped up to 2160, I got back out. So I only made like a couple $100, but it was worth it because I still made profit. And then I sat down on it for a little while and waited for this to fall back down. So now I'm just, yeah. Never think that something is actually dead. You got to remember what's going on there. We got to have that vote 17 hours from now. We'll know what the end result is. I listen, if it doesn't pass, despite that everybody wants it to go through, then not only is Terra Luna done, but the secondary project of Terra Luna Dos is dead in the water too. Because, everybody will come to something if they think that they can make, but when you realize how unfair they've made this and how Do Kwon is disrespecting all of the investors purposely and forcefully, then they're done. So if this burn happens, they're going to have to do that burn. They have to do it. There's no question. Put 200 into Luna. If I lose it all, oh well. But if I make some gains, that would be amazing. That's exactly right. The important thing is just continue. You just got to continue holding on and just wait and see what happens. Itoshi, I've been real busy. So I haven't, but I can tell you that I still like the shit out of it. Like I really liked what I saw. Yeah. So my thing today, by the way, and what's going on, Tony? My thing today was, and I just put out a video, and I should probably just share with everybody about what my opinion was. Why the hell not? I can't give myself a strike, right? Here you go. Be quiet while it plays.
Use retirement accounts to invest in crypto with iTrust Capital. You can.
What is going on, crypto faithful? Thank you for tuning into my channel. My name is Believes, and if you would give me a like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. We can get a conversation started, just maybe. But today we're going to talk about the crypto market, and we had another big dip today. We had a big dip in the Dow. It seems the American market just continues to bleed investors, and that creates a lot of nervousness, and it makes people wonder weird questions like, is crypto finished? And we know it's not, but people always take a nihilistic sort of approach when these moments happen. And I want to reassure everybody that crypto is going to be just fine. You're not going to have an issue with crypto short term. We're going to experience a dip. But you know what? For every country like America who's big on imports, there's a country that's big on exports, like China or India. There are a lot of countries out there, and crypto is a world economy. It's not just America. It's not just Europe. If you watch and you pay attention, I do this because I watch the charts for you guys. And what I see is in China, you might have just a really big day, real positive day. In India, you might have just a real positive day. Then you get to Europe, and there's a big sell-off because Europe is engaged in a struggle with somebody. Or you might see the same thing happen in America. It goes one way or another. You know the big ones. You know the big investors, but yeah, I'm liking my own thread. Little patience with this market and realize that we are going around the world. Crypto never ends. The Dow Jones is at 9 o'clock, and then it closes later on in the day after a good 8 hours, and then we just stop for the day, and then we do some after hours, but it doesn't really move that much. It's all just kind of waiting in line for the next day, and then we open up trading, and that's the way they do it. Same thing with the Chicago Exchange. Same thing all around the world. You have a short period of which you do trading. Crypto never stops. So when the trading here in America starts to end, then we're heading across the water and we're going to Japan. Then we're kicking it off with China and Australia. Then we're moving on to South Korea, who's struggling right now because of Terra Luna. And then we move on to India. And we keep going. And eventually we end up in the Middle East. And we end up in Russia. We end up in Dubai. We end up in Egypt, South Africa. All of the European nations were having a good day. Norway and Sweden, Norway and Denmark were having good days. Sweden, for whatever reason, was having a bad day in crypto today. But you see these fluctuations and these changes. And they change everywhere because all countries are different. But we're all on the same team. Sometimes we just don't see it. Sometimes we get into skirmishes and arguments. But guess what? The crypto community is pretty united. And I think we're going to be just fine. So if you're down, fear not. Hold on tight. And recognize that there is a moment soon that everything's going to turn back around. Your crypto is going to go back up. And we are going to hit the moon. We're going to do it all together. Guys, it's not financial advice. My name's Bleeves. I'm always right. And I can't believe that Scott Herman said that he's more attractive. The nerve of that son of a bitch. All right, so guys, that's what I'm thinking, right? I can't. Yeah, Lily's been pumping. I'm a big fan of Lily. The Lily. By the way, on May 27th, they're going to save another life. So if you think that Lily and the Lillian Project is not doing anything, then you would be mistaken, and that would be foolish because they are they're the Derek Shepard of Grey's Anatomy in this world right now. It's a beautiful day to save lives, and that's what they're doing every single time. This is going to be the third one. So, and if the market gives us some good sentiment and some good results, then guess what? There's going to be a lot more. So I think that's a really cool thing. No one can love Scott Herman more than Scott himself. I'm actually texting him while we were on pause because we're talking about something, and we're texting back and forth. And he said in his so he's we're both doing some work for my Rolodex, and he was doing a live AMA on my Rolodex, and he said, since I'm the most handsome influencer there is, I put it in there like that's a lie, and then I told him Rodney was more good looking than him. So now we're having it out in chat or in text messages. But yeah, it's pretty funny. So let's get some dip. It's still dipping. It's okay. 1940. Anybody? This is a good opportunity right now. Let's look for that. We're at the 3 minutes. So the 3 minute gave us a green, and then it gave us another red. And you can see right here, it looks like it's building some more downside right now. When you get down way down here, like this is where you want to make that play. If you can get down where it's like negative 60, and remember it's 1935. There we go. So we made a good play this time. And remember, this blue means that it's oversold right now. So you're seeing one of the biggest ETH candles that you've seen in a long time playing out right now on this 3 minutes. Look at this. If you scroll back over here, you don't see this very often. So let's see if it gets snapped back up or if it continues to plunge. Seeing it continue to plunge down here into the 1900s or even the 1800s. Can you imagine Can you imagine how much opportunity there would be if this thing just suddenly plunged down to 18 or 1700 and you were able to buy back in at that level? That's out of control. Guys, that is on a level that is on a level that you rarely get to see. It looks like it's being bought back up, so maybe we're gonna miss this dip because it minted a new green candle and now it's back up to 1940. I'd like to see some more red though. Would just love to see this thing continue to drop just a little bit more. I know that we don't want it in the market generally, but I mean, if I'm gonna ape back in, then I want to be able to ape back in at the lowest possible price, and I'm not getting a buy signal over here yet. So, I want to wait until I get that. 15-minute does not show a buy signal either. So there we go. I'm holding the majority of my liquidity for Bitcoin to hit 23K. Then I'm going all in. You think 23 Bitcoin too low? It seems kind of, it's, never say never in this market. You learn that pretty quickly. But I would never say never, but that is a long way. And you have to look at the amount of support that Bitcoin had at 30,000 and how much it continues to get at 29. Like, people are fighting for Bitcoin right now, and I just don't see. Let's go look at this. Even looking at this day chart, like, there's just not much dip down here to snap up. Like, there's really not. The 30,000 line is a very old line of support, and it might have been played way out at this point. So, I don't know, man. I think that we might be experiencing a lot of lows right now that we're just not gonna, I would like to say that it'll go lower, but I don't know, man. Shit, I'm back on ETH. Yeah, 29 and 30. There is a massive amount of fighting going on here. Like, it would take something like this right here to happen over and over and over and over again. And like, it doesn't feel like it. So it seems like, okay, are retail investors up enough at 29,000 that they can afford to dump it down to 23,000 so that they can ape back in and get a better position? Like, that's a question for DCA. That's a question for them, but I don't know if they are, because there's been a lot of trending at this line for a long period of time. And I don't mean this line as in 29,000, but I mean, like, in this upper echelon of numbers, you got to go back quite a way to find prices below this. You know what I'm saying? Like, we haven't seen under 30,000 consistently, other than little dips here and there. So, like, this is one of those lows right now. So I don't think we have it in us to go much further. But that support line that everybody's talking about is, where is it? Right here, 23 and then 18. So, I mean, it could, it could. Just seems like it. It just doesn't seem like it. That's all I can say. I just don't think that it will. Man, how did I screw this thing up? Jesus Christ. All right, so we're still on a red, and we're still on a red in the 15-minute. So we're still not getting that good buy signal. And it's going back up to 1946. So okay, so honest thoughts on Lily being a millionaire making project long-term. I don't really have a positive answer to that doesn't include like a lot of fumbling around and like hyperbole to try to pump it up a little bit. Like, I think that it's a solid project. I think that it's a project that's going to change people's lives. But right now, it's in the hype phase, and I don't want to dismiss. I don't want to. This goddamn dog. Well, any day, sweetheart. I don't want to dismiss anything that they're doing, because what they're doing is valuable work. It's important work. But how much are you going to continue to get investors in it? And you have to remember, a lot of the hype behind Lilly was based on them being with Saitama. So it was the Saitama maxis that were out there saying all these great things about it. And it was not people who were doing a real analysis of the potential of the token. So, you have to take it and you have to look at the whole thing in order to really get an idea here. Like, is this something that, is this something that you think is going to run? You know what I mean? And like, I would like to say that it is, but you just never know. I mean, it depends on what this blockchain does. It depends on when this blockchain comes. It depends on, now remember, one of the reasons that Lilly and the Lillian project, one of the reasons that this was such a big potential idea was that it's creating a blockchain for the medical professions so that data is stored on the blockchain and can be easily shared amongst people. But not only do you have to have that blockchain, then you have to start building the programming and the infrastructure, and then you have to get people to invest in that software and to get on that blockchain. So, like, it's complicated, and it's going to take some time. Now, you could get lucky, and you could find, listen, you find a couple hospitals that are willing to do this, and it could go crazy. But you really have to find it takes money to make money, and I don't know if they have the money in order to make it happen in a way that's consistent with like what you're saying here, like to turn it into millionaire money. That's a very, very long way. And I don't mean to hedge on that so much. I know that I am, but it's because I don't really like, I like the project in and of itself, and I like the people involved, and I think that they're going to go a long way. But like, I think it's just like, here, you go look over here. The market cap right now is 9.14 million. And they always say, like, when in doubt, zoom out. And this is what happens when you zoom out. You still have this big crazy thing over here. So you got to kind of look at it from this. There was one pump, and then the rest of it's been kind of low. The best that this thing has done has been in the last couple of, like, in the last week or so. It's really started to pump itself. And that major partnership that they had with John Daly's organization, that's good. And things that they're doing, like helping people and paying for these surgeries, like, these are good and noble causes, but they need that blockchain in order to take this thing up a notch, to really get on that next level. You can still add exchanges, and you can still have it just like a meme coin. Like, you can still do things like a meme coin. You can still get your name in the paper. You can still show people that you're worthy of their money as an investment opportunity, but it's an investment opportunity in the future. That's the way that it works. So, like, my Lilly tokens are not a whole lot. I bought in the first night after the dump. So, and you got to get on the hour chart to look at it that way. But I got in, like, whoops, let me move that off. It feels like, it doesn't feel right. I got in down here on this little run up. So then I felt really good because I was making a bunch of money, and I thought, and I didn't sell it, by the way. So now here I am just trying to get back to where I bought in, which I thought was a crazy low anyway. You know what I mean? So it's got some life in it. It's just going to take a while, just like everything. It's just going to take some time. I don't know anything about Engine. Yeah, I know. That's a matter of fact, Corners Crypto, that happened when it flipped to 200 EMA. Wasn't that what started the October and November run? Or am I thinking about it wrong? Because I feel like we were talking about that in like September or something like that, or August and September is when we were going to see that thing happen. I mean, it could have been July for all I know, but I just remember that we were having that that it was going to hit it, and when it did, that would signify that we were going to be on another level, and we sure as shit did, man. Everything started running at that point, and going back, what a mistake it was. By the way, I was still a neophyte at that point, and I was only invested in one token, and that one token went up 8x, which did me okay and got me started basically in crypto. And man, if only I had been invested in a whole bunch of other ones at the time, because I got that little bit, and I put a little bit in Saitama too, which ended up becoming a lot more, but didn't stay that way. You know, I was still good in my position with Saitama, but I was coming out of another project at the time that was dying. Like everything was just kind of ugh at that point. But that run up was muted by that. If I had been able to like put myself into position like I am right now, ready for a bull run, then it would have been crazy. It would have been absolutely out of control. All right, so let's see if we have another okay, so here we go. We are currently in phase 2, or stage 2, as it were, with Lily. And I don't want to sidetrack any conversation that we're having right now, but I do want to I did want to kind of go back into Lily and just take a look here. So on stage 2, you've got a lot of things. Lillian Giving launch. I don't know what that is yet. I'm gonna have to find out now. Website version 2.0, live token feeds. NFT launch version 1, medical systems version 1. That's the important one right there. So that's probably going to be part of the blockchain, or that'll be the stuff that's involved in the blockchain. So like I think that's kind of where it happens. Like that's the piece that we all want to see. That's going to make a difference. So if that's a successful launch and we can see some positivity out of that, then all bets are going to be off, because that'll mean something really good. That'll mean that they've got a working and functioning, profitable endeavor that's making them money, that's not based on people just investing money and hoping for the best, which is kind of what we're doing right now. So if that happens, then we're going to be in we're going to be having some major conversations about Lily in the future. Oh my God, this fucking thing. Hey, you know all that coughing? Why don't you not? Why don't you not? Why don't you make like a young dog and not cough? What a good boy. What's going on, Eric C? Thank you for the $2 bomb, man. I appreciate you. So anyway, back to ETH. Like I'm waiting for that signal. We still haven't gotten the signal, by the way. But as soon as we get that signal, all right, there's a buy signal on the 3 minute. So we've got one on the 3. It would be better. This is deep enough that it should cause a nice run. Not for a whole lot, but 1944. That's not a bad price, right? So let's see what we can do. If we can get in. And how much do we want? We want to swap this, and we want 12.51 ETH. All right, so we're going to go 24350. Oh, by the way, I'm now Bleaves.eth instead of a long ass number.
Babe, I need your help for a minute.
Hold on one second.
I just have to finish using the bathroom.
Unbelievable. Hey man, thank you for the $5 bomb, Cornish. I'm gonna get him something. Um, but my son was helping me earlier. My dog just randomly took a shit on the floor, and then my son, who doesn't look down, stepped right in it. So we had to clean his shoe, and then I was like, "Hey, would you clean this up while you're at it?" And he was like, "Sure, Dad." And then he did, and he took all the toilet paper and threw all the toilet paper in the. I mean, like it was literally. Yeah, I made the ETH trade, but like it was literally Oh, shit. No, I didn't make the ETH trade. I was still sitting on it. God damn it. I hope I didn't miss. Anyway, this there was just shit on the floor. Oh, God, it's a nightmare. All right, so there we go. Now we're going to go. Shit, 1951, and we don't have a green. Yeah, we don't have a green on the 15-minute, and we just got one on the 5. So, I don't know, man. I might sideline this one for just a minute. All right, 1950. Do we think that the Asian market? Okay, go ahead here. Do we think that the Asian market is? Do we think that the Asian market is going to make this go up or down? What are we betting on here? Because I'm doing it. All right, you know what? I'm going to do this on Twitter. So here we go. We're going to have a rapid fire vote. ETH at 1950. Buy now or wait longer. I wait. All right. 0 days, 10-minute poll. All right. ETH at 1950. Buy now or wait longer? That's the question. What are we doing here? And sent. All right. So now we got to find out how we're going to do here. All right. Wait. We got one vote for wait. Man, y'all are not good voters, by the way. Whew. Down, down, down. Okay, so most people are saying let's wait. Let's go ahead. I know I should have bought it in 1930, but it was like 1935, and I kept thinking like it was just going to go a little bit more. It was just going to go a little bit more. That would have been $150 if we had done it right then. Yeah, I was trying, but there was poop on the floor. All right, everybody's saying wait, so it looks like we're going to be waiting. Now let's go over here and let's take a look real quick. We got 10 minutes left, so who knows how it's going to change. I mean, if it dips down to 1930, then holla. So on the 3-minute, we still have a green candle, but it's not really moving a lot. On the 15-minute, we don't have a buy indicator. We just got one on the 5-minute, and it just dropped $1. So you guys won 1948. But this right here, this is what we want to see right here. It's this epic rundown from Like, lose me 100 points right now. Take me to 1848 in just like 3 minutes or 5 minutes. Can you imagine? Take me down to 1848 in a few minutes, and then I will ape into that shit so hard. And then, of course, everybody, the ETH fanboys, are going to be like, oh my God, we have to buy. And they're going to come out of every token in order to buy it up because they're going to be wanting to eat that dip like crazy. So we're at 1948.31. You know what? By the end of this, we're all going to be a bunch of ETH stackers. That's what's going to end up happening. We're going to all just be a bunch of ETH stackers. Let me get over here, by the way, and boom. Yeah. So I asked my son to help because I was working on something, and he stepped right in shit. And then he started cleaning it up. I mean, he was trying to help me, but then he started cleaning it up with toilet paper. And apparently it had been there for a minute. So he started wiping it and wiping it and wiping it and wiping it. He would walk into the other room. He would come back, and he was taking care of it. And instead of flushing it each time, he was just letting it pile up. So it was just a giant pile in the toilet. So like it couldn't be flushed. Like, oh my God. So then I hear a voice that says, hey, could you please help? And it's just, oh my God, it's just filled. And he just left it there. That's YOLO from a kid. All right, 1948.03. Voting is 9 votes for wait. And it looks like it's going to be 8 votes for wait and 1 vote for buy right now. 8, 9. So it's 2. No, it's going to be 2. All right. $19.48.55. But guys, isn't it crazy though that like if you know just if you were just thinking outside the box here, just if you were into this and you were doing this like we were just talking about, like if it got down to like was it 1930 something and we waited with let's say we went in with 100 ETH and we did this and went to 1950. That would have been $1,500 that we would have gotten. Isn't that right? $1,500 that we would have made in like a minute, maybe 2 minutes. That's ridiculous. The amount of money that you could make if you're able to work through this and figure this market out from these kind of numbers here up to this. Well, that was 1970. So Jesus Christ, you would have made 50. You would have made $5,000. And this is what half at the start of this. God damn it. Yeah. If you got enough ETH, you can do anything. That's the magic. All right, so we've got 10 votes. We got 2 for buy and 8 for hold. 1936 is where my buy order was, but I'm only playing with 2 ETH. Yeah, see, that's the problem with when you only have a couple of ETH. Like the problem with it is like you have to pay the gas fees and the exit on that and the entrance on that is kind of expensive. Like it's $30, sometimes both ways. So you got to have just a little bit bigger of a stack. And then sometimes, like if you go in and all of a sudden, like let's say you buy it at 1948 right now, and you think, it's going to go to 1970 in a few minutes, and it goes down to 1910. You're like, Jesus Christ, now I got to wait for the run up. And just let it sit there for a little while. And then, of course, you're going to start feeling good because it's at 1970, then it's at 1980, then it's at 1990. You're like, yeah, I'm making it. I'm going to actually go on a run here. And then you fall asleep and you wake up and it's 1900 again. Now you got to wait longer. Take your profits, by the way. When you get an opportunity to take profit on everything but Volt. Well, there's a couple of them that you would probably hold on to because the amount of money is just not, it's not worth it to do any kind of swing on it. Like you want to make that a long-term play. About the only one that you can really swing around the same way you could with ETH would be Saitama. But Saitama is so dangerous right now. Matter of fact, where's Saitama trading right now? Saitama mask number 1. BTFA is about to drop a 0, by the way. 33.94, guys. Remember this last night? This was last night. No, yeah, this was no. That's not right. Yeah, this was last night. It was at 1100. It's up. You would have 2x. You would have 3x your money if you would have bought in. I mean, just imagine putting 10 grand into it right here, and then whoosh. Nope, that's not right. We gotta get to 24 hours. There it is. 24.47. When that guy last night sold off all that ETH when Max left, it would have been down at 1,800, and you would have been almost double your money. Almost double your money, just like that. That's why these whales got to keep selling in Saitama. Like, man, if you see a big red candle on Saitama and you just happen to be tracking that chart, if you just happen to be looking at a Saitama chart and you see that big red candle right there, know that this is what's coming after it. I guess not every time. There's been a couple of big sells that haven't been bought back up. Well, actually, they've been bought back up. So when you see it go down like this, and if you can make any money off of like 300 points movement, then whew, that is a play to make. If you have what they call dry powder on the sideline. So it looks like it's getting tired right now, and we're almost into overbought territory on the 3-minute mark, and we are not making any headway here. Moving down on the 15. On the 1 hour, we're still on a sell order. We're still on a sell on the 4 hour, and we're still on a buy, long-term buy on that day chart. So I guess maybe we're not going to make that buy anyway. Ken, thank you for the $20 bomb, my friend. Someone has to put Rodney in his place. Volt Army, nothing like Saitama. What you know what? I mean, he's got his opinion, man. Listen. Rodney is a guy who he's in the meme coin space. He does this for attention, and he just doesn't think that meme coins are representative of good investments, and that's fine. He can have his opinion. He's allowed to be wrong. Look around the crypto space. He's been wrong a lot more than he's been right, just like all of us. He just has a louder voice and he can share it. And that's fair. Like, I mean, he doesn't agree that 50 billion, like, I mean, you got to understand, like, he's not saying that it's not going to have a big run and it's not going to make a whole bunch of money. He's just saying that 50 billion is not going to happen because Shiba at its best got 38 billion and he just doesn't see 50 billion out of it. And that's fair enough. He has an opinion. Like if it listen, I'm happy. And I think that Voltoshi will have accomplished a miracle if he gets to 10 billion. 50 billion to me was an insane number. Can it happen? I absolutely think it can happen, but it's going to take a $3 trillion market cap, maybe a $3.5 trillion market cap to get there. So it's not out of the realm of possibility, and it can certainly happen, but it will have been a phenomenal run and one of the most amazing things that you will ever have seen in the crypto space if Volt goes to 10 billion. So you have to understand, like, that there's levels, and Rodney's not just saying that he thinks that Saitama is bad, or that he thinks Volt is bad. He's just saying that it's tough to get all the way up there because 50 billion is, I mean, really, realistically, like, we're not, and I don't know that he's fudding anything. There's only 5 cryptos with a $50 billion market cap right now. There's only 5. And the closest in our space is Doge at 11. And Shiba is all the way down here at 6 billion right now. So it's just a tough sell, especially in this market, to say that anything's going to do 50 billion. Doesn't mean that it's not. Doesn't mean that it's not. Just means that, right. But that's what he, that's what he's going to do. That's exactly what he's trying to do. Is he's trying to get under your skin, and don't let it work. Rise above that and just say, hey, listen, if you're not on board, that's okay. We don't need you to be on board in order to hit 50 billion. We just need Gagan, Bleaves, Pablo Crow, Power Right, Tammy, Space Chick. We just need all the people who want to be on our side on our side. We need Brad at the Sandstorm. Once you've got all these people, then you will see. He'll see, and he'll say, you know what? He'll look at it and he'll be like, oh well, I was wrong, and it'll be, and like he won't care, because it's okay to be wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Like, letting him get under your skin isn't going to do anything. So I'm not really worried about it. He and I probably never even talk about it, because it's not really a thing. Yep, absolutely being relocked. It wasn't locked. There's actually Zenth, if you scroll back through if you scroll back through the Twitter, you'll see the plan for what was going on. So you'll know exactly what it was that was happening. And don't worry, the best way to solve this, moving away from Zenth for a second, the best way to solve this is just get on board the train. Let's continue to increase the volume of trading. Let's make those tier 1 exchanges say, you know what, we need to have the Volt Army with us, and we're going to add new members. We're going to add new people. We're going to get a bigger army, and nobody is going to be. Listen, there's one rule that Voltoshi should follow, that the Volt Army should follow. Be undeniable. Be undeniable. Don't let anybody deny that you belong in the big leagues with everybody else. Just be undeniable. And if you do that, everything else will fall into place. And I assure you, Voltoshi already believes that way. He already thinks that way. He's already of that mind. So it's going to happen. We're going to have a massive, massive run, and it's coming. We just got to have that market sentiment. We just got to get, it wouldn't hurt for ETH to double in price, because if ETH doubles in price, I know this is kind of tough because we're doing like wonky math here. But if ETH goes up 50%, then our price goes up 25%. So because we're wrapped, and because 50% of the price is based on what ETH is doing versus what Volt is doing, then it's complicated. But if ETH goes up 50%, then that represents 25% of the volume. So if you're looking at 9,900 right now, then the next thing you would be looking at is 1,250. Like, our price would be 1,250 if ETH were at 3,800. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it just goes up exponentially because ETH is trading at a much higher number. And remember that when some of these that are paired with Ethereum hit these big numbers, then the reason that happened was because ETH was trading at 4,800. Like, that's crazy. ETH trading at 4,800 puts us in one of those big things. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Everybody here, as a matter of fact, I just made an intro video for Space Chick. She's trying to get it worked out right now. What's going on, Anthony? Hey, man, how you been? But yeah, Tammy is on board. Space Chick is on board. So we're getting female influencers involved, and women have a huge voice in the Volt community. So I can't think of I can't think of it. Listen, I can't think of a better community. There isn't a better community in the crypto space than the Volt Army. There really is not. And the fact that Voltoshi keeps doing what he's doing is a testament not to himself, but a testament to you guys, because you guys are the ones that are making it easy for him to do all of these things. And yeah, he's going to bring. Listen, this space is going to erupt. We are going to have a moment where, again, we're going to be undeniable. They will not be able to say no. All of these top tier, these tier ones. I know that the work has been done. I know that everything has been done, but you also have to remember that a lot of these things happen in quarterly cycles. They do happen in these quarterly cycles. Anthony, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate that. But these things happen in a quarterly cycle. So when their quarterly numbers come out and they're not looking good, they need more revenue. They need more stuff that will move product. And then they're coming around and they're looking for something that's going to move volume, even in a down market. So that's what they're trying to get. So if you were to come down here, and you know what, let's do a little. I'm not one of those people to do little math exercises like Voltoshi. I'm really not. But if we come down here and we say that Malar Dex right here, which is the number 100 token right now, we're looking at it. It has a circulating supply, has a total supply. 24-hour trading volume is 219,000. I want you to think about that. The number 100 ranked token in all of crypto has a $219,000 volume. Now, there might be reasons for that. It might be one of them that's not traded a lot. So let's look at the next one. Harmony 1, 24-hour trading volume is 51 million. So there's a little difference in the trading volume. And as we go up and down here, we're probably going to see a little variance in these numbers because some of them are part of staking mechanisms and shit like that. So we have to make sure that we know that there are situations in which some higher ranking tokens do not have a lot of volume. But generally, you look here and you see like 26 million, 92 million, 408 million in the case of Phantom, 6 million in the case of Gate Token, 385,000 on Radix, 34,000 on CDI. I think there was something going on with that. But you're looking at 20 million, 6 million, stuff like that, right? So let's go up here and let's look at Volt and let's see where Volt is. Now, remember, it's 23 exchanges. Some of them just went live. Some of them just went live. So when we're looking at these exchanges and these markets, our 24-hour volume is right here. And you can see that it's over 1 million. It's hard to really, like, it doesn't add itself up here. But when you look here, you can see this is 600, 700. This is 800, 900. It's 1 million. So it's 1.3 million roughly. So we're doing about 1.3 million in volume. We need a big exchange. When a big exchange with a huge amount of volume pops up, and look how much is done on CoinTiger, by the way. CoinTiger does more volume than Uniswap. And where is CoinTiger from, by the way? Because that is obviously a market that we need to be probably much bigger in. But the point is, these are the kind of things. You want $1.3 million worth of volume. There is enough volume for people to pay attention, but we want to get noticed. So we need just a little bit more. If we get a little bit more, then we will be undeniable. And they'll just have to say, yeah, we want you. And it wouldn't hurt, by the way, Voltoshi. I know what time it is where you are. So you're probably asleep. But if you watch this tomorrow morning, we should give away a Tesla. If we did that, then people would be talking. Shiba might just be getting started. Shiba had the largest burn that they've ever had on Wednesday. Dude, Briggers. What are you doing? Crypto before to buy Terrarium. I said the price will go up after Monday's AMA. Do you think I'm right, or is she going to kill me? I'm not convinced that the price is going to go up at that point. I'm convinced that the price is going to go way up. Like Terrarium is the long term. Look, I think that Terrarium is a long term gem, but long term, I don't know how much. Like, listen. On Monday, they're going to have a big announcement. I don't know what that big announcement is going to be. Like, I might get a tip over the weekend or something like that that would make me invest, quite a bit more. But, for right now, I'm sticking with what I got. And I don't know. I don't know when it's going to make that big. I don't know when it's going to do that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how it's going to run. They got a lot of work to do to convince investors. Like, we're talking about 1 million volume here, and You really, all you have to do is go to a place like CoinMarketCap and look up Terra, and then go look at the market, and then see how much they're trading, and you see their trading volume is 200,000. Here we go, BKEX, and this is indicative of some of those problems that I'm talking about. You look at CoinTiger. CoinTiger is the number one volume exchange. Uniswap only had $50,000 in trading volume. MEXC 12,000, Bitmart 12,000, Bitrue 7,000, and BKEX $874. They don't have a whole lot. They don't have a whole lot of positive sentiment going right now. So they need to have more before they can make that big splash or make that big move. It takes. I mean, they gotta work on it. Get themselves out there. But the one thing to remember, by the way, is the only marketing that they have at this point. The only marketing that they have is RD Price on Twitter and in Telegram. So yeah, it's a long-term investment. Yeah, you know what? It's still going to pump. I mean, like it still might pump, but here's the thing. Like, does she understand there's a 7% tax going in and a 7% coming out? I mean, that's 14%. So she's going to have to wait for a little while. The small exchanges will be huge. Thank you again, Ken. I appreciate you, man. Once one big exchange lists us, because the small buys will keep us strong to hold the price up. Yeah, absolutely. The fact that there's so many, one of the things that we don't do, which we should probably get better at, and I don't mean necessarily Volt, by the way. I'm not really talking about Volt, but I'm saying any token. Like, we have to do a better job of addressing who we are and getting new people to look at us in our spaces. So, like in this, we have the market. Nope, not the market. We have the markets over here, and we can see how much this 24-hour volume. That's a huge volume in a lot of different places. Now, the volume should be greater, by the way, in LBank, because you can see some of these. This is our ranking by exchanges. Uniswap is the clear number one, obviously. But how can you not? Oh my God, I swear to God. You know what? CoinGecko is the worst. How can you have 1 followed by 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then 2, 3, 4, 5? Who does the math for these goddamn places? Like, is this programming that complicated and that difficult that you can't take a 1 and turn it into a 0-1 by default? Is it really that tough? It's just programming. This is crazy. So the number one is Uniswap, followed by PancakeSwap, followed by MEXC Global. Like, all the way down the line here, you can see here that it has a lot of volume in some places, but like BTC Alpha, I don't know where they rank, but I know LBank is a pretty big rank, and LA Token is a pretty big rank, and XT is a pretty big rank, and they're not trading nearly as much volume. So I think we need to do some advertising in those kind of spaces or in those kind of areas where people are, because we're already on those exchanges. Like, it would only make sense to do that. I don't know where. I know BKEX is a big Asian one. AZBit, I don't know where it's from. So let's go to AZBit. I mean, let's take a look. AZBit. AZBit Global Ltd is a blockchain-based banking platform for crypto traders. All right, so where is AZB Global Limited? Here we go. They are located in whatever that is. Tallinn. Where the fuck is that? Is that a new country that I've never heard of before? Okay, it's the most populated place in Estonia. Get the fuck out of here. So, this is where AZBit is from. It's a European. That's out of control. That is just out of control. I bought into Volt back in January. Really, it was December. Like maybe the end of December. No, it was beginning of January. Yeah, I appreciate you, Ben. Man, I cannot wait for Monday. Like, and I'll tell you what, like I don't know what Voltoshi's announcements are. And in fact, I kind of have an open door with him where I could probably just reach out to him and say, hey, man, what's the announcement? And he'd probably tell me, but I don't want to abuse any of that privilege. So, like, I'll never ask for inside details or anything like that. And there's this festival that's happening. Here's Ian Highness training, and look at the lightning flashing off of him. Hey, and tell me why his partner over here looks like John Moxley. What is that shit about? Oh yeah, and P2P, B2B, they're going to be listed pretty soon. Vindax is going to be listed pretty soon. Like, there's so much different stuff happening. And this right here, by the way, like I know that this probably doesn't matter to a lot of people because you don't know what it is, but I'm telling you right now, this is, I'm going to show it to you in just 1 second here before I do this. This is probably the biggest announcement I think that we're actually ever going to see right here. And the reason that I think that that's the case is because I think this is letting us know that there is a Lightning network and that we have a blockchain on the horizon. I don't know if it'll be called Volt Chain, Lightning Network. I don't know what it's going to be called, but I'm telling you right now, the fact that we are part of Now Nodes means that Volt is going to do something special. Like this is a much bigger deal than I think people are giving any credit for. You know what I mean? So I think that like we're on that precipice. We're on that precipice of things getting real interesting. Now notice he said Now Nodes provides companies with API key to accept payments, which is fine. But Now Nodes also does a whole lot of other things, and almost everything to a man is blockchain related. So we'll see what happens. But guys, I am now going to take off. I got to go walk my dog, this poor thing. He needs a little walk to get his little legs unscrewed, and I can't believe I got to go fix a bathroom. But anyway, I appreciate you guys for coming in. Thank you so much for your time. By the way, if you look up here at the top, you'll notice that Shift is now a sponsor of the channel. So channel sponsors are Volt, Safe Ape, Banana Task Force 8, the Phantom Project, and Shift Token. And I think each one of these is going to have just a massive and incredible run at some point. And if it's 3:30 a.m. for you, Cornish Crypto, it is time to get to bed. But guys, this is not financial advice. My name is Bleaves, and I am always right. You guys have a good night, and we will see you again tomorrow.